Donald Trump's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, has had a really bad couple of days in court dealing with the forthcoming E. Jean Carroll assault trial that is actually supposed to begin in a week. It's going to begin on April 25th. So what's happened in just the last few business days is that Tacopina and his fellow co-counsel Alina Habba began trolling social media, looking for all the negative comments of people already making their decision that Donald Trump is guilty here. And they presented it to the judge last Friday. And they presented it to the judge because the judge had previously ruled that the jury is going to remain anonymous. So they said, hey, judge. I love how that's always like how I pretend his lawyers walk in. They're like, hey, judge, let me tell you something. No. They say, hey, judge. Obviously, a lot of people have already made up their mind. They've determined our client guilty before hearing any of the facts. So we have to know who the jurors are to make sure they're not any of these people online saying these things. Judge said, no, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that. So then after that unfavorable ruling, Tacopina goes back and he says, all right, I got a new motion. Hey, judge, you got to have me involved in every step of the process for the jury selection, so that I can make sure I know who these people are. And once again, the judge said, well, no, I actually don't have to do that because Donald Trump, your client, has a history, in fact, a very recent history of leveling threats against judges, against plaintiffs, and of course, against jurors themselves. So no, I don't have to tell you who these people are. So Tacopina went back one more time and told the judge, hey, judge, I should be involved in all stages, every step of the process with the jury selection, not just telling me who they are, but I need to be in the room. I gotta see these people. And the judge finally said, all right, listen up here, bucko. Judge didn't say that specifically. I like to imagine in my head, like that's how the scenario played out. The judge said, that ain't going to happen, Tacopina. You know why? Because I actually held a meeting last week for both parties involved where we discussed the jury selection process so that everybody would know that it was completely fair, that we were not picking these anti-Trump people. I am listening or going through your voir dire to make sure that I have done everything y'all have asked me to do. And you know what? You would know that, Mr. Tacopina, if you had even bothered to show up to the damn meeting. That's right, folks. Donald Trump's lawyer has been bitching to the judge about being shut out of the process when he's the one who chose to not go to the meeting. Let me read the ruling from the judge. I take what I understand to be material inaccuracies in Mr. Tacopina's letter to be misunderstandings attributable to the fact that Mr. Tacopina was not present at the meeting attended by the deputy clerk, Mr. Mohan, and other counsel. The court nevertheless provides the following information concerning the proceedings on Tuesday. This is identical in substance to the manner in which juries were selected in this court during the COVID pandemic. Counsel for both sides have been requested to submit proposed voir dire questions, and both have done so. The court naturally is taking those requests into account in formulating its examination of prospective jurors. So the judge didn't even have to give him an explanation, but chose to do so. But that doesn't change the fact that the judge, a week ago, a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, said, all right, everybody come in. We're going to do a meeting. You're going to voice your concerns about jury. You're going to give me your voir dires. You're going to give me everything I need. We're going to discuss it. I'm going to tell you how the process works so that everybody can trust it. And Mr. Tacopina apparently thought, nah, why would I need to be there? Like, why is this a thing I got to do now? Of course, he always had time to go on the corporate media. He was out there doing interviews all the time. Maybe decline a couple of media requests, Joe, and go and do your damn job. But he didn't. And he complained to the judge, he whined to the judge, and the judge had to smack him down for his material inaccuracies, which basically means lies. That's what material inaccuracies mean. It's lies, even if you didn't know they were lies, But you would have known that these are lies had you bothered to show up to that meeting and actually do your job. Now, Donald Trump, to you, you have a lawyer that is skipping important meetings about jury selection. Maybe time to rethink your stellar counsel here, because if they can't be bothered to even show up for very important things like jury selection, probably means their heart's not really in the case. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.